Okay guys, it's early out. It's 7 o'clock. I guess that's early enough. We're heading out to do some photos and videos for a charity. And because of that, we're bringing the new RP out with us. So right now I'm shooting with the M50, but from this point forward, we'll be shooting with the RP, if that makes sense. It should. You guys are smart. You're smart cookies. So it's a good test today. I want to see how well it does, how well it matches with the M50, and if the speed is an issue, etc., etc. Is the 24 frame an issue? What I'm using it for, etc. Review. It's kind of what it is. Coming up right now. At the end, really, you can see samples as I'm shooting. So tired. Stay tuned. Oh yeah, just so you guys know, again, this was shot with the M50, and probably any talking that I do throughout the day will be with this M50, because I'm going to keep this wide angle lens on it, and that just makes more sense than having to change back and forth. Alright, I'll talk to you about what lenses I'm using, because we're doing this on a budget. Budget is important. Alright, I'm off. Get in the car time. Alright guys, well, I'm gonna just cut in here for a minute. I have to say I'm pretty excited to try the new camera, and again, realize that everything that's shot with me talking like this will be on the M50, and anything else today, RP. It's gonna be the RP. So my guess is a lot of photos, but I hope to be able to get a fair bit of video out of this as well. So it should be good. Should be good. Alright guys, we're here. You probably can't see me, it's so dark, backlit. Look at that sun right there. Anyways, here it is, right there. And we're gonna go shoot. It's starting now. Alright guys, we're on the roof trying to take some photos, video. This is actually with the EOS RP, so taking this I have to get a little farther away because my lens isn't as wide. But we're going to be shooting some wide group shots from up here, so should be cool. See how these turn out. Alright. So that's done and over with. Hey, some of it went well, some of it not as well as I had hoped. But that's what happens when you do a live event. I'm going home. I'm gonna look at the photos and we'll talk there. Yeah? Yeah, let's do that. Cool. All right, my friends, well, we are back. We are back, and I've had a chance to play around with the video, and you've seen the video, so that's good. I was shooting in standard 30 frames because that's all you can in 1080, so just so you guys know. And I was shooting on the M50 in 24 frames, I believe, if that's right. Can you tell? This is a 24p timeline, so I don't know how much you guys can tell, again, being that it's on YouTube. And if you can't, that's even better, right? In regards to the photos, honestly, I was having a lot of fun with this. Does it shoot as fast as my old 7D, which is, you guys can see it right there on the shelf. That's it there, that's my 7D. And it's not as fast. My 7D, which, you know, it's a decade old camera, shot 7 frames per second, whereas this was only shooting, I think it only shoots 4 or 5. But for me, it really didn't matter. I would shoot, compose a shot, compose, fire, and I was good. No concerns. Loved the fact that full frame, all my EF lenses are actual wider than they were on my crop and on my M50 mirrorless. That's a huge perk. Now I'm only shooting with a 28 to 135. See if you can see this here. Ready? See it right there? It's an IS lens. It's an older lens. I got this on eBay for like, I don't know, $200 I think it was. So that's fantastic. So no concerns there. One battery actually did me. I only shot probably 150 shots and all the video. It was no worries. I brought 3 batteries, only went through 1. Good. Didn't even go through 1, actually. I don't even know how many shots I have left. There were scenarios that an extra bit of speed probably would have been okay. And one of the other things that you have to be aware of, and it's a setting that I'll probably change, is the preview photo. So when you take a picture, it previews it, and you can't really see anything till that preview goes away. So I know on my M50 I actually have the preview feature disabled, so it doesn't preview the photo after. Because I'm like, don't care, I'm like click, click, click. But over on this one, because I still have that on, it's like click, then it previews, and you're like, okay, wait for the preview to go away. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay, go. So be aware of that. If you are someone who does want to do a bit more fast single shots, I guess, you may want to turn that. Now, the one feature I do love, the M50 has it, this also has it. I actually think it's a bit better on this camera, is the touch focus. When you have this up to your eye, you can actually move your finger on the screen, and when you're looking through the electronic viewfinder, you can see your focus point move around and being able to place it. That's fantastic. So good. You can get really precise when you're in there and get some shots. I was shooting with a very, very flat color profile, and in a future video I will talk to you guys how I got that, how I put that on, because it's a starting point. I'm going to put some photos up here while I talk, so befores and afters. Just kind of shift and move around this side of the screen. Little befores and afters, so little shots. And the reason I shoot with such a flat, you know, neutral, beyond Canon's neutral, is so that I hopefully can get a little bit more ability to color grade later. And this is in both photo and video, but it's nice that this camera allows me to add or put in custom profiles for that. So that's super good. And again, in a future video, if you guys are watching and are interested, I will show you what one I'm using and what it looks like, how it installs or how to install it, and how I color grade it. So the other thing that I have a tendency to do, especially in bright light when I'm shooting outdoors, I actually have my camera set to shoot at about 1/3 of a stop darker. So every shot is a bit darker, because I'd rather have to work on bringing up some of the shadows. And again, with that neutral or flat color profile, I got a lot of those shadows back anyway, so I'd rather shoot a little on the dark side so that I can regain as much of the highlights as possible. So that's something that I do, third darker, and shoot with this really flat color profile. You know what? If you're looking at getting into your very first full frame like I was, I think this is a great step in that direction. If you're coming from, like me, a Canon crop sensor, or you're coming from one of the more inexpensive of the Canon mirrorless, I think this is a very, very natural progression. You know, you can get this camera for about, I think it's $12.99 American, about $1,700 Canadian for the body. If you're a person that had one of those old Canon cameras and bought a lot of EF lenses, not EFS, but EF lenses, then you've got a whole bunch of glass, and you can start to invest in future glass that will continue to work on even your previous cameras, which I think is fantastic. I'm going to leave you guys there. If you have some questions, I think with this camera, so many of us have been focusing on what it can't do versus maybe what it can do. We're focusing on the fact that, what do you mean this isn't a camera that can compete with cameras twice its price point? This was a camera, I think, that was designed for those of us that were interested in going full frame, like myself, but possibly budget didn't allow them to. This is a great alternative, I think, because, like I said, if you've invested in previous Canon cameras, especially in that EF lineup, you've got almost all your gear already, which is awesome. Okay guys, I'm gonna leave you there. I'm gonna put some links down below to the RP if you're interested to get it on the old Amazon, because hey, those help us here on the channel, which is always good. And yeah, I'm gonna leave you there. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we will talk to you all in the next video coming up soon. Later guys. Oh yeah, for those that stuck around past the little end credit there, thanks. Mac doesn't support this camera's RAW format yet. So all the edits I'm doing are based on the JPEG versions, so I'm not overly happy with that, because I do shoot JPEG and RAW together, so at least I have the JPEG. Hopefully the RAW compatibility comes out soon on the Mac. Hopefully soon. Come on, Apple. Get that RAW compatibility out there for the RP. You can do it. I believe in you.